In this lecture, let us understand what is Virtual Private Cloud. Virtual Private Cloud is also known as VPC. So what is VPC? VPC is nothing but the virtual network in AWS. It closely resembles the traditional network. So when you are working in office, then you are connected to office network. When you are working from home, then you are connected to home network. Similarly, in many cases, many enterprises also have guest network. So whenever guest comes, they will be given access to the guest network. This is networking layer for EC2. So when you are running an EC2, then behind the scene, your EC2 runs within VPC. VPC is a regional service. So if you are creating a VPC, let's say in Asia Pacific Mumbai region, then that VPC is going to reside in the Asia Pacific region. Similarly, you can create VPC in North Virginia, which is US East 1 region. Now these are two separate VPCs. Whenever you open an AWS account, you will always find there is a VPC which is called default VPC. Now this VPC is already created by AWS for you. We are going to look at how to create custom VPC. So custom VPC is nothing but the VPC which you create. But why do we need VPC? Security, security and security. Now security is the major reason why VPC is used. It provides security at the networking level. Now if you look back at history of AWS, VPC was not there from day one. VPC got added later. So prior to VPC, everything was running on flat network. So if you are a customer and looking at doing a lot of security at networking level, then it was not possible. Many enterprises are running applications in the cloud. So typically you will have public facing servers. For example, it could be web application, it could be e-commerce application, it could be banking site and so on. It could be simply an FTP server where users connect to this FTP server and upload and download the content. On the other side, there could be other kinds of server or services. One example is database. So many applications will use some kind of database, and that database is running in, let's say, AWS VPC. Now you don't want the database to be accessible to the outside world or exposed to the outside world. So you can keep your database, or you can keep the configuration of VPC in such a manner that database will not be accessible to the user who is outside that VPC. So this is a security feature. Similarly, you can keep your secure services running in VPC. Another common use case is establishing virtual private network with the on-premise servers. When you use VPN, you get extra layer of security because now your traffic is kind of in an encrypted way. So let us understand what this VPC is all about and what are its various components. So let's assume that you are running an EC2 instance in the AWS cloud. So in this picture, a user is accessing your EC2 instance via internet. Let's try to understand when we say EC2 is running in the AWS cloud, where it is running. First comes the region. Now we know that there are many AWS regions and your EC2 runs in a specific region. So this could be running in US East North Virginia, or it could be in Mumbai region. Then we have one more kind of layer which is called availability zone. Now availability zones are nothing but the physical data centers. So your EC2 instance runs in one of the availability zone. Then comes the VPC. Now if you look at this particular picture, now VPC, you will see one IP range also, 172.16.0.0/16. So your EC2 instance is running in this VPC. VPC is again further divided into something known as subnets. So in this particular picture, there are 4 subnets. And you will see there are 2 subnets which are named as public subnet and 2 subnets which are named as private subnet. So typically, if you have a web application or FTP server, then you will be launching your EC2 instance in the public subnet. Public subnet is simply put, the servers which are running in the public subnet can be accessed from the user over the internet. But if you are having a database, then you don't want that database to be running over here, but you can run in the private subnet. And subnet resides in specific AZ, whereas VPC is a regional component. So ensure you understand this, that public subnet or private subnet or any subnet cannot span across AZs. And these AZs are connected via high-speed fiber network. So in case your instances want to talk to each other over various subnets, then that is also possible. There is one more element which comes into VPC, which is called Internet Gateway. Now whenever user is accessing your EC2, the user connects to your EC2 via Internet Gateway. Internet Gateway is nothing but the entry and exit point for all the internet traffic. So if you are doing SSH to this instance, then the traffic comes via Internet Gateway. Similarly, let's say on this instance, you want to download something from the internet. If you are using Windows instance, then you want to do a patching. So in that case, you want to go to the Microsoft site and download some patches. In that case, the traffic also goes via Internet Gateway to the outside world, and you get the response from the Microsoft site, and again the traffic will come back via Internet Gateway. Then comes the element of security group. Now security group is nothing but a virtual firewall around your EC2 instance. So let's say that you are hosting a public facing website. Then you definitely want end users to access your website over port 80 or port 443. But you don't want everyone to connect to this server over SSH or RDP. So in that case, you want to restrict access to SSH to only specific set of IP group. In that case, you might decide that I want to allow SSH only to specific corporate IP or specific set of IP address. So those are known IP addresses. So this way you can control which traffic is allowed to reach to your instance and so on. There is one more element in the VPC which is called route table. If you look at this picture, then you will see some additional entries. So these are nothing but the routing entries or route tables. You also see this one, this is called router. So what is the role of router? So whenever user is trying to connect to your EC2 instance, then the user will try to connect to this EC2 instance, and when it reaches the internet gateway, then internally the routing entries will be checked. Now the routing table will decide whether to allow the traffic to reach to your EC2 instance or not. Similarly, let's imagine that you have like private subnet and you have one more server running over here. In that case, if this server wants to talk to this server which is running in the private subnet, then also the routing comes into picture. So this is very important element, and we are going to see more details about how to create this route table and how does it work and so on. Finally comes the network access control list. Now we have seen security group. Security group acts as a virtual firewall at the instance level. Network access control list is also like virtual firewall, but it operates at the network level. So let's say you are running like one more instance in this public subnet, and you have security group associated with that instance as well. But if I say that I want to block all the traffic which goes to this subnet, then I can use network access control list. So network access control list provides you security feature at the network level. Now remember that each subnet will have its routing table, each subnet will have its network access control list. For simplicity, I have not shown NACL for each and every subnet. So if you look at this picture on the left hand side, your EC2 instance runs in the AWS cloud, but behind the scene there are so many VPC components coming together so as to allow access to your EC2 instance. So let's look at the kind of summary for this VPC. So VPC is nothing but a virtual network. It's a networking layer from AWS. So whenever you create VPC, it must have an IP range. So that is something which we are going to see in the subsequent lectures. Then we also saw concept of subnet. Subnet is nothing but the subdivision of your VPC. Typically you create public subnet for public facing sites or applications and private subnet for databases or more secure services. We also saw internet gateway. Internet gateway is nothing but the entry and exit point for VPC for the internet traffic. Without internet gateway, no internet traffic will reach to your EC2 instance. We also looked at route table and router. So route table decides where the packets to be routed, whether it has to be routed to specific subnet, to be routed within VPC or outside VPC. And we looked at security groups and network access control list. These are nothing but the virtual firewall. Security group is a firewall for EC2 instances, and NACL or network access control list is the firewall for network layer. So with this, we will actually go into details of individual VPC components in the subsequent lectures.